NFL insider Jeremy Fowler, because we still have 8 head coaching vacancies remaining, assuming that John Harbaugh gets that deal done with the Giants. Adam Schefter will have much more on that at the top of the hour on Countdown. But we have some coordinators involved in this divisional round, some hot names out there. You just heard him lauding
in the
Sean
Domino's
Payton. Let's start with
the coaching carousel.
Right
Schefter.
Defensive coordinator
Well,
Van
Steve
Joseph, a
Bisciotti's
prime
former
head coaching
coach,
candidate.
John
He had
Harbaugh,
6 virtual interviews with teams last week. I actually spoke with him last night. He said head coaching is the last thing on my mind right now because we're trying to get this win against the Bills, but he wants to be a head coach again. The Ravens, the Raiders are a few teams where his interview process went well. Could be a second interview in line. And Davis Webb is the pass game coordinator for the Broncos. He's the name to watch. He also interviewed for those 2 teams. He could go with Joseph to be his offensive coordinator, or he could become a head coach candidate in his own right. So that is certainly a name to watch coming out of that game. And then with San Francisco, Robert Saleh did a few interviews with teams before the game tonight. He'll do a few more tomorrow. Baltimore Ravens are one to watch for him. Tennessee Titans, he could be a finalist when they start to narrow down their list. They talked to 18 candidates. Leading up to Sunday, they'll narrow that to 4 or 5. It wouldn't shock if Saleh's on that list as well. So those are 2 former head coaches that are getting some looks. That's been the theme this cycle, is those retreads who are looking for a second chance.
I will say,
Joseph Saleh could get one.
A solid 20 and 36
Many have called to
as
say
head coach
it is
of the Jets. Has done a remarkable job with all those injuries
that this
on
deal
defense for the
still
Niners.
is not
Nice
worked
to
out,
see.
but I want to
Jeremy,
emphasize
thanks.
that both
And there was this
sides,
big
the
announcement,
Harbaugh
obviously,
camp and the Giants,
midweek.
both still
John Harbaugh
this is
going
done.
to the Giants. And the first thing you wonder is, well, they have an incumbent
but
GM, Joe Shane. How is all that going to work out?
We'll see how they do in the red zone.
Still
They
don't
got
have
to
a
get this
contract.
thing
Obviously,
settled
the
up there
devil's
with
in the
Harbaugh.
details
And
here.
of course,
So
look,
what's
if it
going
goes
on?
sideways, that's an entirely other
Behind every
conversation.
word
Let's live in a
matters,
world
right?
where
So
they do
when
get
we
this done,
reported
which
this on
remains,
Wednesday night,
as Shefty
the
said, the
language on
expectation.
that
Now,
was
you bring in this
expected to
veteran,
finalize a
experienced
deal.
leader,
That
CEO
still
type of a
is true
coach
some
with that young
72
group.
hours
Rex,
later.
how good
The
can they
Giants
be and how
and
quickly?
John Harbaugh
I think he'll flip it overnight.
still
I really do.
expect to finalize
and look,
a deal.
They
don't
lost the
feel
Giants
particularly
in
rushed
5
now
games this
because
year,
there are
had
games today,
double-digit leads,
games
and
tomorrow,
blew it.
and then
I think it's
there's a
going to be
national
interesting to see
holiday on
who his
Monday,
staff
and
is.
both sides
You're
were
going to
hoping
probably get
to
an
have a
all-star
press
staff,
conference on
in my
Tuesday
opinion, because you'll
to
want to be
introduce
with
John
Harbaugh, I'm
Harbaugh
sure.
as the next head
And so
coach
that's
of the
going to
New
be
York
interesting.
Giants.
Not only
But
getting John
on the way
Harbaugh,
to
the
trying to
leadership and all
finalize
that,
that
but he's
contract,
also going to go
there
out
have
and
been
probably
some
hire the
hang-ups
best coaches.
over
All right, we'll see.
structure
But
within
anyway,
the organization and how
when
certain
I
things
look at it,
would play out.
this
And
is
I will
this
say
team right
that
here
my phone
is so
yesterday
talented.
rang
All right,
with
if you go
a
in, if
number
you
of phone
to
calls
build a
from very
organization,
wise
you want to have
people
a
across the league
franchise-type
who all
quarterback.
had
We'll see.
a
I think they
similar
may have one
reaction
right there.
of
You want a
surprise and
franchise left
disbelief
tackle to protect
that
that
this
quarterback.
deal was not
check
done,
that box.
and
You want a
wondering why
franchise
it
number
still
1
isn't
receiver.
done.
You can
And the
check
fact
that
it's
box.
not done,
And by the
some
way,
72
you got
hours
5
after
guys that
maybe
can
it was expected to
absolutely
be,
rush
has
the
raised
passer.
a lot of questions
You
around
put the
league
right guy in
about
that
whether
situation,
it
they
will
may
get
go
done. Now,
to
again,
number 1 in
I'll
the
be
league
very
in
clear.
defense.
The
All right,
Giants
so to me,
and John Harbaugh
I think
both
absolutely
expect
this is a
that
playoff
they're
team.
going
Look,
to get
John
the
Harbaugh,
deal
his first
done.
year,
But
rookie
it's
head
not
coach,
done, and there are people
had a
wondering
rookie
why.
quarterback.
I mean, Harbaugh had
and
direct
went to a
personnel discussions
went
with
to a
Ozzie
championship
Newsome,
game
with
his
Eric
first
DaCosta as
season.
they built
All right?
this team.
That's happened, I think, 5 times in the history of the NFL.
The sticking point here is
All right, go on.
Harbaugh's,
I think you're dead on. I mean, to me, this is who's his
decisions.
coordinators, right? This is a head coach
Well, I
that
think
is
there
an
are a lot of
executive. He
questions
doesn't
within the
coordinate
Giants
either side of the ball.
with
So I
ownership,
think number 1
with
front
the
burner item
general
is like, who are my
manager,
2
Shane. I think
coordinators,
John Harbaugh
right? And I
wants
think it
to
is
make
his
sure
responsibility to
that
get
it's
the best of
spelled
the
out
best.
exactly
And then
how he
secondly,
would like
this
it
is
to
Jackson
be.
Dart,
With
right?
him
This is a
being the bell of the
quarterback-driven
ball,
league. You have
him
a
having
young,
the option
talented
to go
quarterback
to any
who has
number of
been
places, and
injury-prone this year,
initially
right? Can
opting
he
to
strike the
go
balance
to New
in
York
his
to work with the
development
Giants.
and his
I
ability
think
to
he
still
would
use
like
his
the
legs? That has to be a
organization
part of his game.
to
And that's
be
why I love this
structured
marriage
the
with
way
John
he
Harbaugh.
wants.
This guy only just
And
coached
again,
Lamar
so far,
Jackson,
that
the
doesn't
greatest
seem
running
to be
quarterback
the
maybe
case.
the history of the
money
NFL for
is
8
not an
seasons,
issue.
right?
There is
And I
agreement
think a
on the money.
quarterback that
There
really
is
had a great
agreement on the
balance of that
length
of
of
not
the deal.
taking
There's even
big hits,
agreement
but
that he would
obviously
take
still
the deal. He
leaning on
told the
his
Giants
legs.
he was
Can he
taking the job.
communicate that and get
But
that
they have
done
not
with
been
Jackson
able to
Dart?
get them
Yeah,
the
look, I mean,
contract. And they'll
Jackson
continue
Dart
to
is a
try
different
to spend
mental
today,
beast
tomorrow,
than Lamar Jackson.
Monday,
I don't see
until they
Lamar
get it
Jackson
done
out
so
there
that they
trying
can
to prove how
introduce
tough
him
he is. I see
Tuesday
Lamar
at a
Jackson
press
being
conference
that quick
in New
athlete
York.
that
Unless,
gets
of course,
about
all of a
40
sudden John
yards on a
Harbaugh
quarterback
writes on
run
a
and
piece of
gets
paper
down
that
and
he's
gets out of
resigning
bounds.
as the HC of the
and how
NYG.
good was the relationship quarterback and head coach of Harbaugh and Jackson? It wasn't the best. So now, can Harbaugh get to this kid? I mean, because we really still have to see how good he really is. I mean, this is all right. if anything, what's the best thing he does. I mean, I've seen him get better in the pocket, but this is his best sort of attribute right here. And also, he wants to keep proving
off the board
he's a tough
as soon as he
guy.
gets his deal done with the New York Giants. Stefanski was considered a prime option there. He will be a prime option most likely in some other places, including Atlanta with the Falcons. This is buzz about a potential link there. All these teams need to go through the processes with second interviews, but I do expect Stefanski, former coach of the year, to be in on that circuit.
Really,
and he also has
when I
I
look
guess
at
you would call him
Coach
retreads.
Harbaugh going to the Giants,
trying to be head coaches again. Robert
you know,
Saleh.
being able to
He
lead
could
the
be an
AFC
option
North
in
when him and Mike
multiple
Tomlin was
spots,
the
but
talk
you
of
see
the
Vance Joseph there, too.
AFC
These
North.
guys are trying
Now
to
you
play
come in
their
this
game
division
this
with
weekend.
Sharpe, and
They're
you got
not worried about head
Sirianni,
coaching
in
interviews
Philadelphia. So I
right
just
now,
think there
but
is
Robert
a
Saleh could
lot
be an
to
option with
talk
Baltimore.
about with adding
He's
him and Rex.
expected
I
to
do
talk
agree
with
to
them.
you with adding a
Las
guy
Vegas
like
Raiders could be
Harbaugh,
some options there.
instantly
Tennessee
playoff
Titans,
contenders.
Vance
Yes.
Joseph in
No,
that
the
similar
Giants
mix.
have
So
not won this
strong-minded
division since
defensive coaches.
2011.
Second time around, they've
Right, you know
learned
what's
some things
crazy?
and
And
hoping to get jobs.
it might be hard for you guys over there to hear. MetLife Stadium, which hosts both New York teams, hasn't hosted. They've hosted one playoff game.
For much more on the playoffs.
One New York
Let's go
team
to
in
Tony
ever
Mike,
since
PTI
2010.
bonus
Right? Like, how crazy
Having a
is
deal
that?
to
Like,
become the
maybe
next
John
head
Harbaugh
coach of
can
the
finally
Giants.
be a remedy there.
There's still no official announcement. Other dominoes have fallen with that one
Yeah,
still
Rex,
unresolved.
are they
25%
usually
of the
that
league's
big?
teams
I mean,
are
head
without
coach
a
and
head
No,
coach.
mine I think was one page.
That is Jeremy Fowler and Jeremy. What are you talking about? Harbaugh contract status and other openings and where they are today.
Still finalizing, but not an agreement officially reached. That's not a major concern from all that I've heard today. We're still working out some of the details of the contract. Most people around the league expect this to be like a 5-year deal, a very lucrative
we don't know that these are
5-year
the
deal.
things
John Harbaugh
that are
expected to
being
be one of
talked
the
about, but
highest-paid
it sort
coaches
of
when this
stands
is
to
all
reason.
said and
We'll
done,
see if they
based on
get
the
it done in
pedigree and the
time
Giants'
for a
taste of
Tuesday
him
press
really over the
conference. Meanwhile, we'll talk about
last
another
week. He did a ton
coach.
of research. The
Joins us
Giants
here
won out. He
with
loved the
news on the
combination
other
of
side.
Jackson
How about the
Dart,
49ers
the
piece
roster
of
they
this?
have,
Well,
the
Greeny,
tradition
they're
of
all
the Giants.
49ers
So
injury questions.
that
You know,
has not
George
changed.
Kittle's
I don't
out for
expect
the year
Tennessee or
with
any other
torn
team to
Achilles,
sneak
6
in
to
here
10
and take
month
Harbaugh away. They're
recovery,
still going to have a
but
press
they
conference
do get back
late next, or
Ricky
about to say early
Pearsall
next week. But for
tonight.
now,
He is
the
expected
contract
to play.
could get done
He
today.
told reporters
Just not
he would
officially
be out
signed at
there,
this point. Maybe he
despite
forgot the
the fact that
DocuSign.
he's got a knee
Maybe he
injury.
forgot the
Greg
DocuSign. I know
Warner
damn
will
Giants
not
fans,
be
they
out
can't
there.
wait for
Their
this to become
linebacker trying to
official.
come back
Jeremy
from a
Fowler,
dislocated
thanks so
and
much.
fractured ankle. They
Spent
did not
most
activate
of
him.
Wednesday
I'm
at the
told it's a
Giants
long
facility.
shot.
The Super
He
Bowl
would be
head
ready
coach
to play
believed
in
to
the
be
NFC
close to a
Championship game.
deal.
Better
He is
chance
talking to
for
the
Super
Falcons
Bowl
and
if
was
somehow
planning to meet the
the
Titans.
49ers could
That
get there.
is not
Meanwhile,
happening.
talk about a team ravaged by injuries.
For much more,
The Buffalo
senior
Bills lost
NFL
all
insider
these wide
Adam
receivers.
Schefter joins us
20
now.
shells
Shefty,
last
what's
week,
the
12
latest with
favorites.
Harbaugh and the
And,
Giants
of course,
as they look to
Gabe Davis.
finalize
But
this
today,
contract?
They will get back Curtis Samuel.
Kevin, this
who's been
deal is
activated
going to
off
get done.
IR,
John
and
Harbaugh is
Oliver,
going to
their
be the
outstanding
next head
defensive
coach of
tackle,
the New York
also
Giants. I think when
activated today,
you have
though they still
a
will
certain
be
amount of
missing
money
some
owed to you
key
from the
players
Baltimore
for
Ravens,
this
you're
afternoon's
finalizing
divisional showdown
contract
versus the
details
Denver Broncos.
and numbers from
there have been
your new
questions
employer, the New York
surrounding
Giants.
and
There's a lot
following
of
the
paperwork
future of
to sift
Packers
through,
head
a
coach
lot
Matt
of
LaFleur
details
and
to
general
work
manager
out, but
Brian
that's
Gutekunst.
not
But the
going to
Packers have
stop
been working
the
on
New York Giants
extensions
from
for
hiring the
both
man
this
that
week,
many
and I'm
teams
told
wanted,
it'll be a
and the man that was
surprise
the belle
if
of the ball
extensions don't
in
get
this
done
hiring
for
cycle.
both
The Giants
LaFleur
have a
and Gutekunst
successor
to run it
to
back. Both
follow
LaFleur
along
and
the
Gutekunst
lines of
were
Bill
headed into the
Parcells
last
and
year
Dan
of
Reeves
their
and
contracts,
Tom
but it
Coughlin,
sounds
and the
like
man
they're
that
both
they
going to get
believe
extensions
can
that are getting
elevate this
closer to being
franchise
worked
in
out.
much the same
All right,
way
Shefty,
that
we'll have an in-depth
Mike
conversation
Vrabel
about some of this
elevated
coaching
the Patriots
carousel
this year,
as we
or Ben
work our way
Johnson
forward,
elevated
including John
the
Harbaugh
Chicago Bears.
in New York. But
The
let's do
Giants
opening kicks. We
identified
open
John
with the Darnold
Harbaugh as
news.
the
Let's go
coach
to the
they wanted.
AFC game.
They
And
went out,
Randy,
they
what are we
pursued him
looking
as
at for the
aggressively,
Buffalo
if not
Bills
more
this
so than
afternoon?
any other
Man,
team
it's all